Wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? And have I got a story for you? Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I will be reading to you this week. Sorry, I'm going to be doing this again. My daughter just had her 6th birthday, so it was a little hectic around my house. But I'm going to be reading them to you, and you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinion, or just listen to me while I read them to you, and then we can discuss them down below. Before I get started on this, I also want to just say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm. And small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. So with saying that, why don't we go ahead and get started? It looks like it says Rust Production Company fined nearly 137,000 for willful and serious safety violations. An unavoidable loss of life occurred. Now, I just want to say I did a couple of videos on this, and again, I will leave those in the iCard section. But I just want to say we all knew this was coming. Like, if you didn't know this was coming, you were blithely naive or blithely unaware of what's happening with this. And I stopped doing videos on it because, you know, people just didn't want to realize that, you know, this was bad. And, you know, certain people were to blame, even though they didn't want to see it. And, you know, listen, and what's his face? Alec Baldwin. He just keeps talking. That motherfucker just needs to be silent until this whole thing is done with. Okay. So it says, update with detailed summary of the investigation. Okay, so it says the company that produced the ill-fated Rust movie has been slapped with a fine of $136,793 by the New Mexico Occupational Health and Safety Bureau for its willful and serious violation of workplace safety procedures. Gosh, the fine, which is the maximum allowed, allows the Bureau's 6-month investigation into the circumstances leading up to the accidental shooting that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza on October 21st. There were serious management failures, State Environmental Cabinet Secretary James Kenney said in a video statement. Watch it below. We're not going to watch it. And more than sufficient evidence to suggest that its standard industry practices were followed. The fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins, they did not write it. That's not her name, Hutchins. And the serious injury to Joel Souza would not have occurred. This is a complete failure of the employer to follow recognized national protocols that keep employees safe. I agree with that. You know, there are protocols in line, and it's very obvious that these weren't followed, and it's sad. I feel bad that that woman had to die. And watch that interview with Alec Baldwin. It was not good for him. Okay. Read the report summary here. We're not going to do that. I looked at it. It's very boring. You know, just, you know, yeah, it's a lot of jargon. That's just very boring. Anyways, a detailed summary with the Bureau's key findings, conclusions, and recommendations is below. Hutchins and Souza were struck by a bullet fired from a gun held by Alec Baldwin, which he said he didn't fire it. But I'm all like, dude, guns just don't randomly go off. You have to fire them. And yeah, it was... yeah, sorry about that. I needed a sip of coffee. All right. Who has said that he was told that the gun was not loaded. Okay. He has also claimed that he did not pull the trigger, which I don't buy that, but whatever. And that it must have misfired as he pointed the gun toward the camera during rehearsals at the Bonanza Creek Ranch outside Santa Fe. The report concludes that Rust Movie Production LLC's management knew that firearm safety procedures were not being followed on set and demonstrated planned indifference to employee safety by failing to review work practices and take corrective action. Which I have to agree with them on that. I mean, it's obvious that you know, protocols weren't held. Somebody died and everything. So you knew this is just the first of like there's the husband, he's suing them, I think. And yeah, anyways. Oscars honor slain Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins during a memorial tribute. The production company was issued a willful serious citation that includes a $136,793 civil penalty. This is the highest level of citation and maximum fine allowed by state law in New Mexico, the Bureau said in a statement. Rust Movie Productions LLC was cited for the plain indifference to recognize hazardous associated with the use of firearms on set that resulted in a fatality, severe injury, and unsafe working conditions. All right. The statement adds, while the film industry has clear national guidelines for firearm safety, Rust Movie Productions LLC failed to follow these guidelines or take other effective measures to protect workers. Rust Movie Productions LLC's documents indicate that it would follow the industry-wide labor management safety committee's safety bulletin number 1 recommendations for safety within firearms and use of blank ammunition, but failed to adhere to these guidelines on set. The guidelines require live ammunition never to be used nor brought onto any studio lot or stage. That safety meetings take place every day when firearms are being handled, and that employees refrain from pointing a firearm at anyone except other consultation with property master, armorer, or other safety representative, such as a first assistant director. By failing to follow these practices, an avoidable loss of life occurred. Oh, this is so long. We're not going to do the findings. We won't do the findings. We'll skip to the end. Hold on. Because this is very long. All right, let me go back up here and we'll read. Like I said, when we get to this findings part, this is a lot of jargon that's not necessary. Okay. Under the federal requirements, Rust Movie Productions LLC has 15 business days after receiving the citation to either pay the penalty and provide OSUB, is that what they're called, with certification of corrective action, or to contest the citation with the Occupational Health and Safety Review Commission. Should the production of this film resume in the future, Rust Movie Productions LLC is required to abate. Gosh, Matthew, I'm bad at reading today. The violations referred to in this citation before resuming operations. Employees should speak up about unsafe workplace conditions or report them anonymously to us, said OHSB Bureau Chief Robert Genoway, yeah. As a reminder, it is illegal for any employer to retaliate against any employee who alleges a workplace safety violation. I just want to say right now, employees should speak up. When I'm at work, if there's something I find unsafe, I tell somebody right away. You should too. It's not worth it. And I'll tell you right now, this whole no employer should retaliate against it. I've said stuff about safety stuff. Let me tell you right now, supervisors do not like that crap. They get real angry because it happened under their watch, and they retaliate and they try to make it look so sneaky. So I get the whole doing it anonymously thing, but yeah, them saying that, I just go, yeah, that's not going to happen. So we're going to go down here. You guys can read all of this stuff. It's a lot of jargon though, that it's kind of boring. So and then this stuff, they do recommendations what's the conclusion. We're not going to read the whole thing. This talks about how what exactly happened, or they think what happened, and then how they didn't follow anything. So it says right here, hold on, that's the end of it. Yeah. Okay. So it says recommendations. Based on the above findings, I recommend a willful serious citation with the penalties to be issued to Rust Movie Productions LLC, citing the plain indifference to the recognized hazards associated with the use of firearms on set to which their employees were exposed. And I think that there was a lot of different things going on this set, obviously, but I think that the one thing was just safety precautions were not held to standard. And I think that, they deserved this fine. I just think they deserved it. I think if Helena Hutchins' husband is suing, I think he deserves every penny he's asking for. He lost his wife, the mother of his child. And, and I don't care if, she was pissing Alec Baldwin off or if she was, just being a total asshole. Nobody deserves to get shot and killed on accident. It's just, it's just a crazy situation, but this is well deserved. I think that if you're not, holding up, safety precautions, I think that you deserve to get fined and the maximum. So they got fined the maximum. So good. And I think going forward, I think everyone in Hollywood, including Alec Baldwin, is going to be taking these precautions seriously. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? How do you feel about this Rust production LLC getting fined the maximum for their willful and serious safety violations? Do you think that the OSUB, do you think that they did the right thing? Or do you think, and do you think there's more fines coming down the pipeline? And I mean, Alec Baldwin said this movie's not coming out ever, but something tells me they might, just so they can recoup some of their losses and everything. Okay, so tell me what you guys think about all this. You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. You guys have a good week. Bye.